Hello there.
Hello there indeed. My name is Josh Lloyd. This is the Josh Lloyd Fantasy Basketball channel. I'm also the host of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball podcast. You see me, Basketball Monster, Yahoo, all that sort of stuff. This is our What to Watch For video for Monday's game, so let's kick straight into it. The first game we're looking at is the Pistons and the Hawks. Blake Griffin isn't playing. Derrick Rose isn't playing. So, will we finally see big minutes from Killian Hayes? Will we see a boost for Delon Wright? Will it be Josh Jackson who gets those minutes? With Griffin out, I imagine that Sekou Doumbia will start and Jeremy Grant will be the forwards. Sadiq Bey will get into the rotation as well. We also don't know about Jahlil Okafor, so there's question marks all over the place for this Pistons roster, but this is going to be really indicative to see what happens with Hayes. Dwayne Casey was pretty adamant, no, we're going to pump minutes into Hayes and Bey, and Isaiah Stewart even was mentioned. Who knows when that comes, but this is a great indicator to see how it all looks. For the Hawks, it looks like Clint Capella is going to play. We don't know about the Italian cock Danilo Gallinari.
Hands off my cock!
Whether he will play or not, but John Collins has had foul trouble, and the minutes have been really low. Let's see if he can actually play a game without foul trouble. Let's see how he looks in his first game with Clint Capella, because we have yet to see that, and that's a big question mark. And I also want to pay attention to DeAndre Hunter, who's been getting a lot of minutes. His rebounds are up. How is that going to work next to a lot of John Collins and next to Clint Capella? That is the big question mark, and how that wing and guard rotation looks. The Grizzlies and the Nets. Dylan Brooks, I want to watch his shot selection because it's often horrible and he can really kill you outside of volume scoring in that field goal percentage category. Is he going to take better shots? Is he going to understand that he's not the best player on the team? Because he doesn't understand that at this point. So let's see how that looks. And there's no D'Anthony Melton, so who's going to fill that role? It was John Conchar last game. We had Desmond Bain also playing over 20 minutes. I want to see how those backup guard minutes look. It looks like Tyus Jones is really being pushed down. He's not playing alongside Ja Morant really at all. So how is that going to look? For the Nets, it's a back-to-back. Will Kevin Durant play? We don't know. I imagine Kyrie plays, but we don't know that for sure. But also Spencer Dinwiddie hurt his knee. I don't think he's going to play. So will they put LEVERT into the starting lineup? And then if KD is out, who's the other guy that comes in? Will they put Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot in? Will they put the Shark, Bruce Brown in?
Baby shark,
Will they put Landry Shamet in? There are a lot of questions there. KD, Kyrie, will they play? How's LEVERT going to look? And who's going to replace Spencer Dinwiddie? Because I'm almost certain that Dinwiddie is not going to play in this game. But of course, that remains to be seen. The Jazz and the Thunder, Mike Conley's assist numbers are very low. And that's what happens to point guards in Quinn Snyder's system. So I want to pay attention to that. He looked pretty good last game with scoring, but the assists aren't there. And that's just one of those things that happens. I also want to check on Bojan Bogdanovic. Is his wrist still bothering him? Because his shooting hasn't been great. He doesn't do anything else apart from shooting. So if that's not there, then he's hard to have as a must-roster player. For Jordan Clarkson as well, the scoring, you can't find points off the waiver wire like you can with Jordan Clarkson, so he remains a viable option, so check if he's around. For the Thunder, how much is Aleksej Pokuševski going to play? He barely played in the opener. I think the minutes do push up, but if they don't push up enough, then his role for a starting, or his path for a starting job isn't 100% clear, so he might not be worth a hold in a lot of formats. And I want to see George Hill, who shot the ball amazingly, but only played 23 minutes against the Hornets. I think he's an ad in pretty much all leagues for now, but how much does he play compared to Teo Maledon? How much do they play together? How much does he play with Shea? How's the ball handling look? I want to really focus in on George Hill and how he looks with this Thunder team. The Rockets and the Nuggets. There's no John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Gordon, everyone's out. So I want to look at Jayshawn Tate because he played a lot off the bench against the Blazers. Put up good numbers. That could be an interesting stream. With only 5 games on, he could be an ad there. You got David Nwaba, Sterling Brown, but Tate was the guy last time who played a fair chunk of minutes and looked pretty good doing it. And also want to see Christian Wood and James Harden. The big usage for those guys, the big minutes against the Blazers. Will they get that again? I would be pretty stunned if they didn't. So there's some good value, I think, with those guys. For the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr., how much is he going to play? Because he's starting, but the minutes are all over the shop. We know that the Dr. Michael Malone has an issue with him at times in terms of his defense. So how is that going to all go down? I want to see his role. Will Barton, can Gary Harris literally ever hit a shot? How much does he play PJ Dozier? But I also want to see the headmaster Jamal Murray, who has not been Bubble Murray. Nobody's been bubbling him. He hasn't been bubbling off. Nothing's been going on with Jamal Murray. He did look better in the second half of the Christmas Day game, so I want to watch that. I want to see how that all looks. I want to see if he can get some of his accuracy back. He's still a bit of a buy low fantasy guy. I want to see how Murray looks integrating with Porter, with Barton. Remember, no Barton in the bubble, and that helped Murray there as well. The last game of the day is the Blazers and the Lakers. Carmelo Anthony is out, so will we see Gary Trent's minutes jump back up? They were non-existent on the weekend, which was very, very curious. I think he should be playing over guys like Derek Jones Jr., over Carmelo Anthony, over Anthony Simons, even over Rodney Hood, but he didn't. He's not a great fantasy option because he's just a scorer, and that's it. But I want to see how much he plays with Melo out. And again, with Melo out, does that mean we get 30 minutes of Derek Jones? Does it mean we get 33, 34 of Robert Covington? How does that rotation look without Carmelo Anthony? And for the Lakers, Anthony Davis didn't play on Sunday. I expect him to be back, but it is a back-to-back. So will LeBron James play? And what does that mean for Kyle Kuzma and Talen Horton-Tucker? I want to see how those guys look, because if Davis is back and LeBron sits, it will be Kuzma who starts again. Kuzma started on Sunday for the Lakers. So who will start, or how will Kuzma look in that role, and how will Horton-Tucker look, and how does the team run? Will Montrezl Harrell get more usage? Dennis Schroeder almost assuredly will, but I want to see what's happening in the situation with if LeBron rests. Now, if LeBron doesn't rest, it's pretty good for the rest of the season. If he does rest, it doesn't mean that he's resting every single back-to-back from here on out. So that's what I want to look at with the 5 games on Monday in the NBA. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Just a little quick header. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'll see you later. Bye.